Hello.
Morning.
It's another dreary Wednesday morning here
I
in Ohio.
know. So I hope everybody had a really nice Christmas. That part is done, and I hope everybody's got to have a safe this weekend.
Right, right. And a quick thank you. I don't know if Gina's logged on yet. Gina, I got your Christmas card here at the store, so thank you.
Yeah, I got quite a few. Thanks for everybody. There's no way I send out Christmas cards like that. I can't. And people that know how to work a computer, they're really lucky because Ted said we got a bunch of what are the cards called on Facebook? I don't cards. What email cards? I don't know what the heck
Physical
they're.
cards, yeah.
They're
Um,
cute. They dance around. They do weird things. It's like wow.
well, ever since I have Lori who does so much of the social media for me, like the posting and answering certain things, like I really don't log into the back end on a lot of stuff anymore. I'm focusing on other things, and it's nice.
Right, right, right. So
So yeah, I don't see all those fun things. So
okay, now we have stuff to do because I've got a bunch of stuff I want to tell everybody to do about the new year, what they should do to bring more wealth into your life for the following year. So let's loving you.
well, I'm just showing everybody's good mornings, and
Good
it's
mornings.
morning
Yeah.
to
First
everybody.
of all, before we get started, Zoom, the first Zoom of January is full.
Yeah, so we're looking at the 24th.
The 24th is the only other one that's available now in January. Um, this Sunday, the 2nd, is a new moon. So for those of you that have your handy dandy law of abundance checked, terrific. If not, don't forget it's an easy one to do. It's at 1:33 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So anytime after midnight, but before 1:30 in the afternoon, write your law of abundance check. If you're in a different time zone, do it accordingly. So that's coming up. Um, and then when we get going, I've got like five, six different things that you can do to bring more money in for 2022.
Nice. Every time you say handy dandy in my head, I hear Blues Clues, no book, and then theme songs start playing.
Jeez. Melissa, you really do live in a different space.
It's a fun space. It's a really fun space though.
Yeah. You just that's your space, no doubt about
And I'm going to try this real quick, guys. So, not only am I double tasking what's going on here, if you follow the store's Instagram, which is Goddess Elite, I think LLC, you'll find this. I'm going to go live for a little bit. So that way you can see what I see, including all of these fun things. And I'm saying this over here like you can already see it. But you can watch as the things come on over on the right hand side of what I read and what I've got to sort through. So I know I've talked about like one of these days I'll show you the craziness. Well, here's a spur of the moment showing of craziness. So
Yeah, I would like to see it. Of course, if I had to look at that any length of time, it would probably make me car sick.
it's not too bad. It's more of like I don't know, like you're getting ready to do something and it jumps like as you're trying to grab something and it moves. That's what happens sometimes when I go to click on something and the wrong comment comes up, because as I'm clicking, 2 or 3 more comments come in and the whole like
Thing
side
moves. Okay.
shifts. Oh. So yeah. But if anybody's new, please feel free to ask questions or leave us comments in the comments section. And Marianne, you're going to be answering questions live. I sometimes answer questions depending on what it is, but
yeah, there's questions that are answered that I have no clue to, but you do.
Sometimes.
So, yeah. So you can do those, right?
So Helen asks, can a portal ever spontaneously close on its own, or do they have to be closed by somebody?
Unfortunately, they do not close on their own. The only way that they can disappear other than being closed is if the property gets torn down.
Okay.
And it doesn't move to the ground like some people have said, it's gone. So that's the only way, on old houses that may have a portal if they're torn down, like the house that cripe, where was that house where those three girls were taken for 10 years? Don't tell me that place didn't have a bunch of portals in it.
Oh, right, right. Because they tore it down, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah, they did. And so I'm sure there was probably portals on every floor in there with that sick man did. So I'm sure, but when they tore the place down, the portals were gone. So
Right. And see, Brooke apparently is familiar with MySpace too, because she knows Blue's Clues.
oh, good. Okay. So that verifies it then.
Well, and I watched in the beginning times with Steve.
Okay. And Poodle Pants, good morning and Happy New Year to you too.
Yes, let's see. Let's find some more questions. If you're new, please feel free to ask us questions about what earthbound spirits, portals, negative energy, curses, little folk, the fairies, which you and I were talking about before going live. So yeah, Renee says, I see all the chat on YouTube. We are live not only on my YouTube, your YouTube, my Facebook, my store's Facebook group, your Facebook. Where else? Like so many channels. And right now I've got an extra little camera live going on Instagram holding in my hand here too. So I keep looking down to see if anybody's asking questions on Instagram, though I can't put their question on the screen because it's a separate device. So that's what we got going today.
Okay.
Let's see. So Renee asks, Marianne, when and how did you first make contact with your spirit guides? Do you know their names?
I don't know my spirit guides. Renee, where did you ever think I knew my spirit guides? I have no clue. They're from the light. I don't see them. I know I've got them. I mean, I know I have a guardian angel, but I have no idea. I don't know.
Let's see. Patrick says, a friend of mine recently bought a house where some very bad things happened. She said she and her husband haven't felt right since they moved in. They feel like they are being watched. And I think his question got cut off. Anyway, there it is. Can they do to cleanse the house other than using incense?
Well, incense, first of all, won't do it. So that just shelf that. That's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
The two things that I suggest, first of all, whichever you're more comfortable with, everybody likes to go the religious route first. So if you want, or are you affiliated with any kind of organized religion, it never hurts to have an ordained priest or minister come in and bless the house. The second thing that really works the best, though, is a smudge stick. And smudge at least every 12 days. And don't forget a closet. You have to be so thorough. But if you do it on a really regular basis, if somebody is there, they will get disgusted and leave. Or don't smudge, don't call a priest and get on Zoom and let me tell them what's going on in the house if there's anything going on in the house.
Hello, City. Let me know when you get your book. It's been mailed. So let me know when you get that. Let's see. Alexander says, can you folks perceive negative attachments? If so, how do you see them?
Is he referring to spirits? I don't know what he's referring to. What kind of attachments? If it's spirits, I see them like I see you, only they're dead. If it's negative energy, I can see that around a person. Depending on the color that's around you is how bad the curse is or negative energy. Mm-hmm. But I don't know what other kind of attachments.
Yeah, usually in my understanding, attachments are spirits of some sort.
Yeah,
I guess, maybe you could have an annoying little folk that decides it likes you for whatever reason, or interdimensional.
Yeah, but when you say attachment, that usually means if you walk out the front door, they're going with you. If you go to the grocery store, they're going with you. we folk are not going to do that.
They don't
That
care
is
about your
not
cornflakes.
going to happen. No, no. They'll destroy your house while you're gone, but they're
Mm,
not going with you.
right. Oh, Renee, she was saying, and I just saw her comment and I lost it. There it is. Um, she said that since you've mentioned 14 and 16 spirit guides, she thought maybe that you've been in contact with.
No, unfortunately, you're right. That's what I've said, and that is true. And that doesn't include your guardian angel. But no, I don't know mine. And you know, Renee, I've never asked anybody that. Of course, who do I go to that would be able to tell me? Nobody. So I don't know. I don't know.
So Pam says, why can't parents that have gone into the light come to get their earthbound children?
If they are, they used to say, let's go by the church rule. If you are to the age of 7, that's reason. That's why 7-year-olds made their first communion, their first confession, and all of that. However, when a 4 or a 5-year-old is laying in a coffin and they see their mother and father screaming and carrying on, they do not want to leave their parent. That's why they would stay. And the parents' draw would be more than grandma in the light saying, come on with me, come on with me. Now, a parent that is dead before the child, they still, if they don't want to go, and a parent that is in the light cannot come and grab an earthbound spirit. They cannot do that. So that's why, they can hold out their hand and so the child can grab it and come in with them, but to come out and physically, no, can't do it.
Oh, right. So our friend Erin, whose husband passed really recently, says, my husband was cremated. I have to have the ashes placed in a niche. Does he cross? Also, does the quinseed impact him?
If he is still earthbound, yes, he would not be able to get into the house if you have seeds up. And he would have lost his white light somewhere around 48 to 72 hours after the final memorial service. Cremated, whatever, it doesn't make any difference. Um, if he's only been dead recently, it can take almost 6 months before somebody can show up in a dream, not just necessarily years, but somebody else that you and he knew. Sometimes it can take up to 2 years. So your best thing, if you don't want to call and see if he's hanging around or come on a Zoom and see if he's hanging around, call, leave a message. And if he's still there, I will definitely, be able to tell you. Carol, my sister lives in Punta Gorda.
Really?
Yeah, I have a sister that lives down there. Beautiful down there. Love it.
So we're going on vacation, is what you say.
Yeah, my sister said anytime. So
Fun times to be had down there. Let's see. Here's an interesting question. If you're wearing a quincy, do your negative thoughts go out as negative energy? Inadvertently, of course.
no, if you're thinking something bad about your neighbor next door, it's going to affect them. Yes, it is. If he's thinking bad about you and you have a seat on, lucky you, it's not going to affect you. But no, you can still think negative thoughts about somebody else.
So now we have a whole new reason for seed wearing. If you're somebody who depression, self-deprecation, low self-esteem, and you're constantly like, well, that was stupid of me, or I'm dumb, or
Right.
it could be another reason to wear one then.
So you can't give yourself negative energy. Most people give stress to themselves because of a situation, but a ghost did not give you stress, believe me.
Yes.
Yeah, you got it.
So Nicole is asking, what are quincies? Nicole must be one of our new friends.
Apparently, a quince is a fruit. It's a cross between a pear and an apple. So a quince seed looks like either an apple or a pear seed. My relatives do energy work to them in Italy and send them to me once the house is cleared. They go over the doors, so it never happens again. When you're not home, you wear a quinseed so no ghost could get close to you. With a quinseed on, an earthbound spirit can't get closer than 3.5, 4 feet to you. Nobody could ever put a curse on you if you wear a quinseed. If you already have negative energy or a curse on you and you wear a quinseed, it is not going to remove it, but no more, and it won't get thicker if you have the seed on. That,
So our friend Sandy says, or if you have a Karen for a neighbor or coworker, get a quinseed.
yeah, yeah, right, exactly.
And yeah, Lori says, I don't know, ghosts love stressing me out sometimes.
Well, they could, yeah, if they do stupid stuff and it's costing you money to fix everything that they break, of course they can stress you out. But, just some people, I know somebody just gets stressed on putting a mask and going into the grocery store. So pick and choose your stress.
Yeah. I mean, my son, he gets stressed about even making phone calls, and I'm like, dude, get comfortable with this.
But don't you notice that most men don't like to talk on the phone anyway?
This is kind of true.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know very few men that you can sit and have a long conversation with on a phone.
Yeah.
Let alone them even answering the phone before voicemail picks up.
Is this why we can't get Ted on alive?
Yeah,
He's on the other side of your screen. I know.
yeah, pretty much. He's right there. There's a cat on his lap. Yeah, yeah.
So Patrick says, Marianne, do you ever see shadow figures? I've never seen a ghost, but I have seen shadows moving around time to time. I'm wondering if shadow figures present as ghosts to you, or are they something else?
No, I still see them as a regular person. But I've already been in somebody's house where it was a 6-year-old child. There was a spirit standing by the front door, and it was one that I was going to make the white light for and let go. And the kid said, "There's that shadow man by the front door." So I was seeing the shadow person as the person that he was, but the child was seeing him as a shadow person. It just depends what you're capable of seeing or what kind of energy the shadow person has at the time. And the more energy they have, the clearer it'll be. It won't be a shadow person. And again, unfortunately, everybody thinks when they see a shadow person that it's somebody bad or evil, the devil. It is not. It is just the way you are seeing their energy.
Okay. So Dr. Addie Cake says, I have a lot of coincidental dates in my family, shared birthdays, death days, anniversaries, etc. My father passed away at my daughter's 3rd birthday party. What's this about, if you're aware?
I don't really believe in coincidences, but I think that happens in every family. My oldest daughter was born on her grandfather's birthday. I was born on mine. My husband was born on my mother's. One of my sisters is on my mother-in-law. The anniversary, my father-in-law died. My mother-in-law's family, every one of her 13 brothers, sisters, mother, and father died on a holiday. Every one of them. Whether it would be Christmas, New Year's, Halloween, Valentine's Day. I think it just happens. Maybe a numerologist would have a deeper meaning of what that means, but I'm not a numerologist, so I don't know. Do you have a numerologist at the store?
I have a couple people that play around with it, but it's not like
anybody that's really into it. Okay.
Yeah, a couple that are like learning more into it, but not anybody that's like other. Let's see. Deborah says, my sister died 17 years ago, and whenever she's in my dreams, she never speaks to me or anyone else in the dream, but just looks at me. Would you have any idea why?
I think what you have to do, you have to start the conversation. You realize you're dreaming when it happens. You realize that it's dreaming and you're seeing your sister. Say hi, say talk to me, or go see mom and talk to her. Just ask her to talk. And depending on how stubborn she is, she will or won't.
Let's see. Liz says this may have been addressed, but if there is no memorial service, how does that affect how or when someone goes into the light?
If that was their choice, then their 48 to 72 hours would start the second they take their last breath. And if it wasn't their choice, um, then maybe that would be a reason why they would stick around.
And then Natalie, whoop, come on, clicky click. There it is. It says, Marianne, is your sister able to do what you do? How did she react when she found out about you? Were you disowned for a few years?
Well, I have three younger sisters, and none of them can do it. I have one that's got really good gut instincts. One is head. Stuff happened to her, so she's aware of something is off kilter. But one of them, no way, no way. She knows I could sell snow to an Eskimo. So
You two get along fabulously, right?
yeah. Really, we talk the most, but we just don't talk about this. So,
That's funny. It's like, don't talk about politics or ghosts.
no, and I really knew she meant business when I was in a secondhand store trying to find stuff years ago when I did the curse workshop, and I was looking, and Ted walks over to me with one of my books that was signed to her. Needless to say, any books after that, I didn't give her.
Wow. What did she say when he was like, ahem?
I didn't say anything to her, and she certainly doesn't watch this. Now, there's one sister that might call her right now and say, "You don't know what Marianne just said about you," but it won't be from me.
Was this the sister that says you can come visit anytime?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh,
No.
okay.
No, that one's still in a good space.
Okay. Let's get off the family drama. Where's Lewis? I know he'd be drinking this up right now.
Yeah, I'm sure he would.
Somebody go send a search party for Lewis. We're missing Lewis. Lisa, come on, clicky click, says, why does Ohio seem to be more haunted than other states? Mineral content such as salt mines and land, water abundance, Native American history.
Lisa, that affects all of it. But I think because I live in Ohio, that's why it's easy for me to contact people, and I think you do somebody and they tell two people and two people tell four people, so it seems like Ohio is it, but it's not.
Isn't Georgia supposed to be the most reported haunted state?
I have no idea.
I think Georgia really and Atlanta. I think that's supposed to be the most haunted state.
Okay.
And I'm not a history buff, so don't eat me alive over this, but I think Georgia is an older state, like in colonization, settlements, towns and history. So
world history wasn't my forte, let me tell you.
I didn't care. I'm like, it's cool.
No.
I can't go back there. They say time's linear and you're supposed to be able to. I haven't figured out. I don't
know how to do that. And it's okay.
So we have some fans of Ted. And it would be fun to hear stories about aliens from Ted. So
don't hold your breath.
What if we start a petition?
Yeah.
So here's a good question. Alexander says, I'm curious if you know if people can send others the opposite of a curse, healing energy and blessings. Absolutely.
Yes. Absolutely. You've heard of prayer circles and people sending prayers for somebody. And how many Christmas cards did you send out that said Happy New Year, Merry Christmas? That's all positive. So, of course. Let me tell you some of the things that you can do for the new year while we're at this part, so that if anybody has any questions about it, they can ask.
Okay.
The first thing that you want to do is you, first of all, on the first of the year, you never eat any kind of fowl, chicken, turkey, duck, nothing. I don't even eat eggs on January 1st because if you eat any kind of fowl, it's supposed to take and fly out with your riches. That's why you're supposed to eat pork because pork is fat. You want to have a fat wallet. So you eat pork. Just eat anything, just don't eat chicken, turkey. Just don't eat anything like that. So that's the first thing. This other thing is, I don't know how many people like lentils, but believe it or not, they're not that bad. Lentils are ugly looking things here, and you can cook them. It's really easy. Any kind of meat that you cook them with, not chicken, um, is going to get the flavor of it. So what you want to do is you want to have this made, and if you don't want to go through all that aggravation of actually making a lentils, they have them canned. Even Campbell's has lentil soup. So warm it up. After the ball falls, take at least a teaspoonful of, yes, ham is good with it, Laura, you're right. Especially if you have any honey baked left over from Christmas. The bone is good in there. So go
Is that
ahead.
in your cookbook?
Yeah, but that's not in my cookbook.
Oh.
So, but yeah, you're right. And so just a teaspoonful of it right after midnight. Go to your steps somewhere in your house. Stand at the bottom of the steps. Take your right foot to the one up, bring your left foot. The next step, bring your left foot, bring up your right foot. The next step, start with your right and bring up your left. Stop. Now you're going to go back down. Go first with your left, then your right, then your right, then your left, then your left, then your right. That is bringing wealth into the house. And if you turned around and came down the real way, it would leave. So if you come down backwards, it'll stay in the house. The other thing that you do, you get a penny. You get 3 pennies, and you take a little square tin foil, and you wrap the penny up in the tin foil. I like shiny side out. And you take 3 of these pennies, and you put them on a windowsill that faces north. Do it before, still on the 30th or 31st. You put 3 of them up there. Unfortunately, my cats could get to the windowsill on the north side, and they would knock them off. You want to keep them on the windowsill, so try to put them someplace where your cats aren't going to knock them off. On the Epiphany, which is January 6th, you take these 3 pennies off of your windowsill, take the tin foil off of them, go somewhere, shop, go to a restaurant, spend the 3 pennies. I know it looks really bad if you leave a tip with a $5 bill and 3 pennies, but you're getting rid of them and you're passing them along. And the one year we did this, I don't know where we went to eat on the 6th of January, and we went in and we left. Ted threw down a $5 bill. He took out his 3 pennies. I took out my 3 pennies. So it was $5.06 sitting on this $5 bill. The girl came over. She looked down at it and she said, "Is today the Feast of the 3 Kings?" I said, "Yes, it is." She goes, "I forgot my pennies are sitting on my windowsill at home." It's amazing. People have found these 3 months later when they're dusting the windowsill. Oh my God, I forgot to do the pennies. So this really does work. It's amazing how well that this works. Another thing that you can do is,
Marianne, do the pennies need to be wrapped separately or
yes,
together?
Thank you, Margie. Yes, separately. So you have 3 separate pennies, and Ted has to do his own. You have to do your own. You can't do them for anybody else. Find a silver coin. Good luck finding a real silver coin anymore. But if you've got one somewhere, if you don't, just use a regular one. On the 31st, bury it in dirt outside, close to the door, so you know where it is. The next day, on January 1st, you've got to take it out of the dirt. You can't leave it in there. You bring it back in. You don't have to spend it, but it's supposed to, and silver will bring in silver. Putting it outside says, come on, come on, come on. Bringing it back in comes back into the house. So these are some things, and I have to laugh because a friend that Julie sent me a really pretty card. And yes, Julie, it's a really pretty card. And she said, do all the things for the New Year to get money. And I was going to do it anyway, but thank you for reminding me because my mind has been elsewhere. So, but yeah, but so those are really good things to try. It's, you know what, you stay up, hopefully you stay awake till the ball falls, and you're not sitting there snoring. And
I'll be snoring.
yeah, well, it takes 5 minutes to do. Just do it. I mean, who doesn't need money with the bills coming in now from Christmas? Come on.
Right. Well, and here's a good question, Nadia. And I was kind of thinking this because my apartment, well, it's a ranch, so there's no stairs.
Right.
So I don't have steps in my apartment. Can I use the steps in the hallway? Or what
You
if you're like,
can anywhere.
no steps?
Right. Years ago, there would be a crowd of us that would go out for New Year's Eve to an event where it was dancing and then a meal at midnight and everything, and there were no steps in that place. And I think there were 10 of us, 12 of us, and I had taken little jars of lentils, cooked lentils with disposable spoons. And because the table, that was it, the table held 12 people. So there were 12 of us. So there was enough lentils. There was no steps in this place. We all ran outside because there were steps coming into the building. So all 12 of us are up there going up and down steps like we're crazy people. Don't drink too much before you do that. Let me tell you.
Oh, yes. No, you might spill yourself, your abundance, your pennies, your hand, all the things.
Right. But, it's simple stuff. It's fun stuff. The kids always got and we let the kids, when they were grown up, do their own pennies too. Usually I cut everything off. Oh, don't bother if you're not 18 or over, but let the kids do it. Let the kids run up and down the steps. What's the difference?
Right. Well, I mean, I was a kid that I was mowing lawns and babysitting,
Right.
at like 12. So,
Yeah, even younger. But yeah, right.
So what day do you do the steps again? New Year's Day?
New Year's Day, as soon as we do everything right after midnight, except to take the pennies off the windowsill. Those we wait till the 6th of January.
And what if you only have like a slight ramp to your door? No steps to your apartment or to your building.
There's nothing you can do. That's one you just can't do then.
I think I would try going up the
ramp with your right foot, and then when you come back down, use your left foot. That's the trick to this, going up with your right and starting with your left coming down.
And how many steps is it? 3?
3.
There we go. And what if you don't have a north window, only an east and west? Because I only have west windows.
And I do too. And I just put it on that because, you do the best you can. Nothing is going to be 100%. But it's just, we missed a couple years forgetting to take the pennies. And we did spend them maybe 2 or 3 days later. Spending them on the 6th really does make a difference.
Okay. Well, and what I think I'm going to do later tonight, I'm going to pull this live down and I'm going to chop it down to where we're talking about the New Year's stuff.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Podcast. I'll put it on yours, and if you want, and if you're okay, I'll put it on the store one.
Yeah. And I'm going to run through it a little bit with YouTube tonight too.
Okay.
Because there's people, believe it or not, that only watch one or the other. There's not too many people that watch both.
I watch both. Okay.
Yeah. So
I know people that do the podcast while they're driving. So,
right. But that's a good idea. Yeah.
So that's why I was looking up. I'm like, okay, I need to start fast forwarding and listening at about.
Yeah. I think it started at 10:25 maybe.
Yeah. That's what I was like.
Yeah. Somewhere around there.
And there's been a couple questions that
okay, good.
asking you to put if this will be in your newsletter going out.
It will not be in the newsletter.
So that's why I know
the newsletter is probably going out when this week, Ted? I got it soon. So
So another reason why, because I know YouTube takes 24 hours for this live to process. So I'm gonna pull it down, put it out as podcast
right.
later this evening. So when I'm done with work, that's what I'll be doing tonight. What if you put your pennies in your neighbor's window who has a north-facing window? Will it still work for you if it's in their house?
Well, probably because they're your pennies. You wrapped them. You're going to go get them. You're going to take the tin off. You're going to spend them. So probably, but I guess it would be okay.
Okay. Well, Brooke says she watches both of the YouTubes and listen to the podcast.
Well, thank you, Brooke.
Yes. So let's see. There was a other question kind of going off topic. Though Renee says she found online another like New Year's tradition, abundance, good luck, was to eat 12 grapes at midnight. I don't know if you've
Oh,
heard that
okay.
one.
I'll add that to the list. That's easy enough to do.
Let's see. And Timothy, in regards to not having a north window, he said Beetlejuice style, grab a chalk, draw yourself a window, and open it. Because it would open their doors and stuff. And Wendy also, in regards to the grapes, she says we grew up eating 12 grapes before midnight. It's a Hispanic.
Before midnight, not after. Are
Yes.
Renee's before midnight or after?
Hers were at midnight.
At midnight. Okay.
A
little bit different depending.
And then Judy says we would fill a cup or container with water, put our troubles in it, and then threw the water and troubles out the door at midnight.
Wasn't that a cute idea?
Right. And one thing, and I'm just now remembering that I do this, and I'll have to remember to change it out. You get like a coffee mug or something, cup that you don't use, that extra cup that's kicking in around the back of the cabinet, and you put some coins in it and fill it with rice, and you put it by your door. And because rice is so absorbent, it helps attract the abundance in and keeps it in the house. And then every year you change out your rice because it's so full.
You keep that there all year long?
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's actually a cup up here by the store, by that door.
Okay.
People don't notice it, but I haven't had any problems with rodents or anything.
Yeah.
That was my first thing. I'm like, well, but never had a problem with that. And I always for me, I have no problem taking that rice after I get my coins out because I use the same coins over. I just throw the rice, outside back to earth as a thing.
Right.
And then I put new rice in and off I go.
And these are new to me, but I'm going to try them.
So yeah, that's I'm like, oh yeah, I need to remember.
And that's the thing. Everybody has something. I mean, families. I think there's some group of people that's hide pickles in a Christmas tree. And that's supposed to bring you money if you find a pickle or something. See, there's so many different things out there. Yeah. Just like, and I hate to say it because people are going to feel bad if they've done it, but it's not supposed to be good luck if you take down your Christmas decorations before the first of the year. And I know a lot of people this week take their tree down, take their lights down. And it's like, oh, that's so sad. If you left them up, it would be better luck if you don't take them down on the first.
Oh, let's see. And it says, yes, we have a pickle in our tree.
What does... I don't know what you're supposed to do with that.
And see, Wendy says they eat their grapes chiming down to midnight. And Renee followed up with, you eat a grape for each strike of the clock at midnight to bring good luck in for each of the 12.
Oh, okay. Well, that was a little bit more. Okay.
Yeah. So these are
cute. Yeah, these are good.
But yeah, fun little things to
Yeah. I mean, this is the only time of year we can do this. So
I got you, Don. I still have Halloween up. If you know me, well, my apartment, not so much, my house before I moved. It was like Halloween all the time because I'm that person. Halloween goes on discount. Well, that's my new home decor. So
yeah.
it's not Halloween anymore at that point. It's my house decor.
No, I've seen people decorate for Christmas and then decorate for New Year's Eve. They put streamers and party hats on their tree, and then they keep the tree up till Valentine's Day, and they put hearts and candles and stuff on the tree. And I've seen people do this with a live tree.
Like maybe out in their front yard and
No,
decorate.
in their living room. So
Oh no.
no, no. If it's artificial, I'm all for it. Make yourself happy, but yeah. No,
I would have good intentions. I might get one or two holidays in, and then I'm like, this
I'm
is,
done. Right.
I have other things. Um, Renee says she does the same thing with Halloween decor.
Yeah.
Let's
Well, I mean, if
see.
you went in
And
my office, you'd see ghost stuff all over. I guess that's Halloween.
um, but yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other. I know, like if you have a ruby, you should wear ruby because ruby is supposed to be good in drawing wealth and abundance. So if you have ruby jewelry, keeping a bay leaf in your wallet is supposed
Oh
to.
yeah, I forgot about the bay leaf. Yeah, the bay leaf is good. That's supposed to bring you money all year long.
Hmm. And bay leaves are cheap enough. Go buy bay leaves.
You probably have them in your cupboard.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
All right. Where are we at? It's only 10:42.
We're good.
Yeah, it felt like such a time warp, though yesterday seemed to drag on forever. And I'm like, who's slow time?
I was in Worcester yesterday, so drive all the way down to Worcester to do a house. And Tara came with me because she had off for Christmas, for a Christmas break. And Worcester is where Rubbermaid was.
Okay.
That's where their main offices and factory were in Worcester. They're not there anymore, but they still have the Worcester outlet store for Rubbermaid. And
Oh,
I've been wanting things for the last 4 months, and it's like, no, I got to get down to Worcester. So we're sitting in this house, and we get all done. And it was the daughter's house. Her 3 little kids were out of the house, but her mother was there with her. And Tara wanted to go to the College of Worcester's bookstore and buy a Worcester sweatshirt because that's where she graduated from college there. And so I said, they wanted us to stay for lunch. I says, no. I says, we have to go to the cemetery and put stuff on Grandma and Grandpa's grave. I says, and then we're going to go to the Worcester outlet store, and then we're going to go to the Worcester bookstore, and then we're going to get lunch and go home. And those two looked at the mother and daughter, looked at each other and said, Rubbermaid's gone. I said, well, I know the factory's gone. Outlet store's gone too. Says, I've been waiting for 4 months to come down here and it's gone. And the mother said, they're redoing the college store. There's no college bookstore now either. Oh no. So,
oh no.
it's okay. It was fine. But you plan on doing something, it never goes the way you plan it.
Well, at least you didn't rush down there 4 months ago.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Let's see. Dawn says, I finally posted my ghost pic on Marianne's Facebook page last week. Did you have a chance to see it, Marianne? Did somebody show it to you?
I don't know if Ted has seen it or not. He had a really busy week, so if he did, I will look at it.
You keep talking for a minute. Let me see.
Okay.
If I can find it,
I know that, and the problem is, like, there's still a Christmas letter I'm doing on YouTube tonight, and her story includes pictures too. They're so hard to show on this medium, and so, but we'll see.
Yeah, I didn't see it on your professional page. Hang on.
I don't know where people. I don't know.
Okay, let me see how quick and techie I can be. all the tasks
People
I have.
send some good pictures, but like I said, it's really hard to show them where they actually show up.
I was hoping I could put it
I'll
up.
try to find it, and Ted can make me a copy of it, and we'll try to see it next Wednesday. How's that?
That might work. That might work.
Yeah, let's try that.
Because I think if I, and I'm not the greatest tech savvy at some of this stuff until I play around with it. So on the fly, not very good. I could put it up as a background, but then I would have to take you and I off real quick.
Oh, you found it?
I did. I did.
Oh,
And trying to get it to put up on the screen is the challenge right now.
well, by you doing it the way you can maybe do it, maybe people could see it better than me holding something up and trying to figure out
Yeah.
where to put it. Yeah.
So if we go quiet for a minute, it's because I have to take us off
Okay, let's
and
see if
then
we
put
can find
the
it.
kick out. So as we wait for me to get my crap together, spur of the moment. So I got to upload it. So she did put it on your personal page, and I'm wondering,
There's a,
picture in picture maybe? Will that work?
I see a wingtip at the top or something. I see fog, but you and I are still
Yeah.
in the picture.
I was hoping it would like make us smaller to the side, and it
And
didn't.
it
So I'm going to
didn't.
take us out real quick for a
Okay.
couple seconds, let people look. But that's the picture she put up on your.
Oh, very nice, Dawn. No, that looks like an earthbound picture. But see, here's where my problem comes in. It looks like it to me. I'm sure it looks like it to a lot of people, but I'm going to guess that was taken on some kind of a digital device. And so a picture like that, before I could say 100% that that's what it was, I would normally send that off with the negative to Quantico, and they would check it for me. I have a friend there that is retiring at the end of January. So I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to get pictures validated anymore. Of course, there's hardly no negatives anyway. So,
Right.
but that does look to me like that is an earthbound spirit. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, this might be something we could do. Don't flood me yet with pictures, guys. But maybe instead of them sending to like your email and stuff, maybe we could have them sent to like maybe the podcast email because that's pretty empty and easy for me to find them. And that maybe every now and then we could
That's a
do like
good
a Wednesday
idea.
a month where we throw up the pictures. And it'll give me time to figure out how to do this maybe where you and I are little screens and the picture is big and
Do you know off the top of your head what the podcast website is?
it's the website or the email.
Where they would send this to?
When ghosts speak pod@gmail.com.
And ghosts speak pod
Mm-hmm.
at
Gmail.com.
gmail.com. Okay.
And I thought I had a banner up, so I'm going to make it real
Well,
quick.
Ted can put that in the newsletter
There we go.
because people, they have pictures that they want me to see all the time. But, and if they're ghost pictures, for sure send them. Please don't send pictures of headstones that say I found them. I don't really care about those. I don't know them any more than you did. So why send me the headstone? I could paper a whole room with pictures of headstones.
Mm.
Stick them on the wall.
I mean, I was excited when I found Edgar Casey's headstone in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, which was right outside.
Yeah,
Fort
but
Campbell.
he's famous.
Oh yeah, and I'm like, oh, there it is.
You know, I mean, in Amber, when she was stationed in Wisconsin, sent me a picture of Amy Mahalovich's headstone, the little girl from Bay Village that got killed. And it's like, well, at least I know her, but I don't know any of these hundreds and hundreds of other pictures that I have. And what is it? You get a picture and you feel guilty to throw it out. It's like, I can't throw this picture out. Heck, I've got pictures, school pictures of houses of kids that I did when their children were in grade school and they're married and have kids of their own now. And I still haven't thrown out those pictures. I don't know why. I don't even know these kids anymore.
Right, right. Well, and that's the thing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of the same way sometimes when it just comes to things that people give me. Like if I
Yeah,
know
you
them,
just,
then I'm like, it's rude.
yeah.
And then years later, I'm like, really?
Yeah, why did I do that?
Yeah. Oh, and Margie, yes, I do have the video. I was actually just looking for it in email. That one might be, I'll have to play with that one and see if it's a format I can upload to show that video. But I think it would be another one of where you and I have to come off the screen. The video play is kind of like our intro.
Okay.
And
Well, if we get enough of these pictures, we could give people a heads up today and say next Wednesday, part of it is going to be ghost pictures.
yeah, we
We
can
could
make
let people
a
know.
Wednesday a month about it,
Right.
if it's enough.
Right.
So, yeah, that could be a thing.
Yeah.
That could be a thing. But send them to the whengospeakpod@gmail for me. That way it's all right there. It's not lost in all of my store email because the amount of stuff I get is just insane. Like right now, yeah, I have 539 unopened emails right now in the store just because every order I place, I get the order confirmation, I get the shipping confirmation. Anytime anybody schedules with a class or a Zoom or anything, I get a copy of your confirmation. I get a copy when you pay. So for every person that signs up for something, I get 2 emails. That's why I know I'm like, I know you got it.
Yeah,
Because
right.
I got a copy of it.
You got it too, right?
Yeah. So my inbox is just I need to hire a little minion that just sits there and goes through my store email for me. So that's why I'm like, just send it to this one because that's the only thing that comes. Anything, me and Marianne related, just send it there.
That would be a good to know.
Yeah. So ghost pics, videos, send it there. Let's see. Let's see. Any last minute questions we have? Are you familiar with, let's see, it says there's a cemetery next to a party hall center under a bridge out on the east side of Cleveland. Lots of suicides, haunted. Cuyahoga Paranormal Investigator Lance had a crazy recordings and images. Are you familiar with that cemetery at all?
In all honesty, Timothy, I do not do cemeteries. I don't want to burst any Ghostbusters bubbles, but earthbound spirits do not hang out in cemeteries. Who are they going to get energy from? So I don't know who you're looking at out there.
I used to hang out a lot in cemeteries. Quiet, peaceful. I like the artwork, like the older ones. I don't like newer cemeteries because they're all low, so they can just mow, right? I mean, it makes sense that way for the groundkeeper, but not
Out of 4 houses that I've owned, 3 of them, my neighbor was a cemetery, either next door or across the street. Best neighbors ever. Quiet, nice.
There's one on 113 out on the west side, middle of nowhere, and I'm trying to think of like what little town it was in. But I would just go hang out there, and there was a certain like headstone that I would always just go sit at, Mr. McComas, and I think it was because we had the same birthday, or he died on my birthday, something. I'm like, ha, you're my guy. And one of the nights that me and my friend Rhonda were out there, like we had been out there multiple times, never a problem. And all of a sudden, like we were just sitting there talking, and I was on a different one for a change, and just saw like this white misty thing just floating down one of the. I'm like, oh shit. And there was like the U shape, and then there was a middle drive through, and the car was parked like at the very end of the U. And this thing was like right over there. And I'm like, this is one of those horror movies. Like, I'm gonna go to the car, it's not gonna start, it's gonna come running out. I'm like, seriously? But
So there's your perfect example of what I say, that people that crossed over
thank you,
will,
Laura Birmingham.
okay, they will swoop through to see if somebody's taking care of their headstones. Or what's the big, where Elliot Ness is buried? What cemetery is that? That big cemetery? Riverside Cemetery. Thanks, hon.
Ted,
Yeah.
Ted.
And what's that radio station that's like NPR or something? I was there to do an interview on Halloween, and we were sitting at the president's tomb, Garfield or whoever it is that's there, and um, arsenic and old lace. No, it's a different president who's there. It's okay. And there were ghosts there. I was really surprised, but they came because of the people from the TV station, the crowd of people that were there. They're going to come if there's a crowd, but to hang out in cemeteries, nah.
Well, I figured there was also a house, like, I don't know if it was the caretaker, but there was a house towards there. And, now knowing like it probably came from a house or,
Right. See what the car's doing in their big lot over there. Right.
Yeah. So, because at this time, I had an 89 Buick Regal, love that car. So like when we would pull in at night, like you could turn all the lights off and you're coasting really quiet so you don't get caught.
Right.
You're just sitting there chilling. And I can't tell you how many times, never a thing. And then that one time, and I'm like, holy cow. Like, it'll be a minute before I come back, get my heart rate down.
Right. Calm down.
Right.
And isn't it too bad Cujo was just played, right? So now this is mine is going through your mind right now. But isn't it crazy? Because people will send me these headstones with orbs in them. And orbs are not earthbound spirits. Orbs are people that have crossed over. So those are pictures, but they're the good ones.
Mm-hmm. Now, being older, now I'd be like, hey, let's go talk to it.
Yeah, right.
But I think that was like the first time I've actually ever saw, and it was just like, oh, and I'm like, and it's by the car, so if we want to escape, we can't. Damn it.
See what people do to themselves?
Oh, right.
See how you stressed yourself out?
I mean, it could have been McComas coming back like, why aren't you sitting with me? Why are you over there on the other side?
That's exactly right.
No,
this one's going to get you.
Right. But there's another one, and Laura, you may have to help. It's near Amherst, and that one is kind of, you come in and there's like this big mausoleum, like kind of built up in, and it's like you come in and I'm like, there's something wrong with that one. Like, not even because it looks weird, but I'm like, there's something not right in that hole. The rest of it's not bad, but that one, maybe when I'll have to go find it again and be like, all right, Marianne, we're doing an episode on this one. Crown Hill. See, Laura to the rescue again. Crown Hill. Yes. Crown Hill Cemetery. So if you're in the area, go check out Crown Hill.
Crown Hill, is that the cemetery that's supposed to have the witch's rock in it?
I think that one's more by Medina, the big round sphere. That I think is closer to Medina.
Oh, I know there was something that said there's a witch's ball somewhere. I was like, okay, I don't know what that is either.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So yeah, we'll have to do an episode on that one, because it was always just the impression of like somebody just standing there glaring at you, and if you hung around too long, then it kind of,
I used to like to go and write down epitaphs because the old stones have some great ones on them. People's last wishes. But this one, and I have it written down somewhere, there's a little poem about 4 lines, but the last line was, and I'm standing behind you now.
That would be something I would put on mine now.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, this one is cool. And no, sucker, you're not behind me.
Again, Laura to the rescue. Laura's one of my readers, actually, too.
I thought it was Lorain County. That's what I thought. Okay.
Laura is also the mastermind behind the punk rock flea market if you're local and you've ever been. Like,
Oh, cool. Okay.
but yeah, so maybe we should do some little episodes from some of these just
From
weird
a
little.
cemetery. Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be as soon as the weather's nice again.
Right, right.
Yes.
Well, and Gina says, Marianne, can you do a live of a house clearing on here?
I would, except would you want your house cleaned with me and have it televised? And God forbid your neighbors see it? Nobody wants their house done on TV. And that's the problem. That is one of the reasons why when people say, well, I can learn if I just come with you. People don't want, I'm a stranger in their house. I'm not going to bring a crew in too. So, and you just have to think about this. Before we get done, I do have an exciting new announcement to make, though. On the 31st of January, there's going to be an event at Melt's restaurant in Lakewood. It'll be in the evening.
I'm writing this down as you're saying it.
It's a Monday night. We haven't gotten the time set out yet. If I believe there's going to be some kind of a meal, but I can't believe that we're going to actually get out and do something. There'll be information very shortly within the next week on the website on how you can get tickets to go. It'll be done through Melt, not through Melissa or me. And we'll see. The store was clean 20 years ago, but apparently they remodeled. And so I've known the owner for a really long time. And he said they remodeled and the seeds are missing. So, and Tara talked to him from his store, and there's definitely ghosts there again. So it'll be an interesting, and it's a Monday night. Who does anything on a Monday in January? So.
Right. Well, Margie says you could do the house cleanse I'm renting to sell and televise it.
So is anybody living in it?
I'm assuming it would be empty then.
Well, then there's not going to be any ghosts.
Maybe from the neighbors. Maybe we need Margie to go around and start like, hey.
Yeah, I would need a call from the house to see if something's going on, number one. But yeah, if there's something there, maybe we'll get lucky and there'll be a portal.
There we go.
Maybe. Who knows? Call. Get a hold of Melissa. Let's figure it out.
Right. So the Melt in Lakewood, January 31st. Waiting on the time, right?
Waiting on the time and all the particulars. Ted and him have to talk in the next couple of days. He doesn't know if he wants to have vouchers for food or if there's going to be food. I don't have any idea what he's doing. All I know is that the date is set, and that's what we're doing it.
So as of right now, speaking of Lori, I know she was coming in. I think I heard her coming through the front door. Lori may be the one from the store coming out at this event.
Oh, good.
I'm supposed to be in Tucson, so I won't be there as of right now. But you'll get to meet Lori, who's one of my readers as well. So, but we'll have it lined up. We'll have all your books and everything out there.
Yeah, all the information will be out there. And like I said, it's just nobody under 18. And apparently he is going to ask for proof of vaccination. So, and with this getting worse now, I'm actually glad he's doing it. So, but just keep that in mind too.
Okay, Margie says they rehab the house and they keep having problems. And I think when she said I did, that she did leave you a message.
Oh, really? Was she on Zoom?
She hasn't said that yet, but let's see. Do you want her to send an email with like a phone number or something for you two to, or do you want to just listen through your messages and see if you can find it?
Yeah, tell her to call and leave a message, at least a minute message from the house. Margie, try to stand, don't get a yardstick out and measure, but try to leave the call from approximately the middle of the house.
She says she called August 30th. Do you want her to call again?
Oh, yeah, I haven't gotten it because I've taken those off already.
Okay, Margie, call again.
Call again. Oh, that's good. Well, that's good because that means there's probably something there then.
Okay. So yes, I see like Patrick and others doing my and Dawn doing my hype work for me, which I should be doing, but I feel cheesy. So please, guys, hit like, share, you know, between all of the channels and stuff. So it helps get the word out there, especially when we consider start to traveling to other places out of state. You know, we want to know that there's enough people who want to enjoy, us ever doing anything like this live. So please help spread the word if you can. But so what's your 5 o'clock, 5:30 YouTube video later today about?
There's one sweet little story about a Christmas gift from somebody that was dead, and going to talk. I was going to do New Year's Eve stories, but everybody was asking the same thing. How do I protect myself when I go out drinking?
Don't drink at home.
Bear your seed. What can I say?
Right.
Just be careful. So that, and like I says, we're going to go over some of the things that you can do for, it's the end of the year. Let's just light and get it done with and start brand new next year. It's almost here.
Right. It's funny. I was listening to another, a different podcast, a true crime podcast. And as they were signing off, they're like, do not go into the new year saying, this is going to be my year. It's going to be the best ever. Because look at all of us who did that at 2019 and 2020. Look what happened. Just go in nice and easy.
And I heard somebody said something to somebody that says, oh, I hope next year is nicer. And it made me sad. But he said to this woman, he said, adults don't hope. Children hope. Adults can't hope. It never happens. So
that's so sad.
That's sad, isn't it? I thought, no, I don't like that.
Well, thanks for sucking all the fun out of that, dude.
Yeah, I know. I like hope.
I'm going to keep doing it. Shit. I don't care what you say. Don't tell me I'm going to live my life.
That's
right. So let's see. So I'll work on getting the New Year's prosperity, good luck stuff thrown up on both of the podcasts this evening. So after work, so everybody will have it. We have anything else? We did put out there, and people have already started booking their spots for the medicine seminary, the 5 to 8.
Really? We had people signed up already.
We already have signups for that 5 to 8 time slot. That's a $40 a person. And then we have that 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. That's also available. Each one's limited to 40 people. So
somebody left a message there. They said, you made a mistake, Marianne. You have 2 different times down for the seminary. It's like, yeah, because there's 2 different times for the seminary. That's why.
Yes.
So,
it's not a mistake. It's on purpose, because we know some people get like the later night,
Right. And some people like the earlier. And I don't think the ghost will be a shift. I think you're going to have the same ghost for both. And apparently, and you need to find out, I was talking about this at Christmas dinner with the family, and there was somebody there, and she said, oh, that place is on. They've done all videos of that place. It's so very haunted. There's some haunt group that goes there quite a bit and does videos on it. And I said, I didn't know. She said, you're going in March? And I said, yes. She goes, do you know there's no heat? I said, there's no heat there? Did you know that?
I know there's no air conditioning. I know they have electric. I know there was no air conditioning, which is why we did, earlier versus looking for him about the heat.
Yeah, let's find out if there's heat. Otherwise, we'll be wearing long johns, because March is still cold, especially at midnight.
March in Ohio. Yeah.
Right.
Bring your foot warmers, your electric socks. I didn't know those were a thing until my friend Kayla out in New York was like, I got electric socks. And I'm like, those are
gloves too. Yeah.
Well, I've been seeing they look like computer mouses, but they're shaped like a computer mouse, but you plug them in or put batteries in them, and they're hand warmers. So they stay
at the Browns game or the football games. A lot of people wear those.
Yeah, you put them in your pockets or you hold them, in your hand. I need those, because holy cow. When I got my new car, I was like, it will have a heated steering wheel. Now that I've had one from my old one, I demand one in this one. And there have been times where when I can't get my hands warm, I just go out to the car.
And hold the wheel. Yeah. Feels
Yeah.
good.
So
You can warm your hands in your butt real easy in the car.
damn right. All right. Well, I think everybody's loving their hand warmers and hope. Everybody's still going on with hope. So good.
Good.
Yes.
I'm glad. Like I said, I just thought that was really mean.
Yeah, that's a miserable person. I hope
Well, everybody have a really good New Year's. Be careful, be safe, and come back next Wednesday.
yeah, 10 a.m. Same place, same channel, all the channels. My channel, your channel.
We're everywhere. So
Yeah.
yeah.
The only place I can't do right now is Instagram unless I hold my phone up. And we were even on that for a little bit today.
No, we're good. We're good.
All the places.
Oh. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a good
Bye.
day, too.